So I'm Ariel Anbar. I'm a professor at Arizona State University in the School of Earth and Space Exploration, the School of Molecular Sciences, and I'm the principal investigator of this project.
I'm Punya Mishra. I'm Associate Dean for Scholarship and Innovation and a professor at the Mayor Lou Fulton Teachers College and also one of the PIs on this project.
So when we think about the future of STEM education, there's broadly three things that we need to think about. There's the how, the who, and the what of the future of STEM education. A fair amount of attention has already been given to the how. The how is active learning, inquiry-driven learning, the various aspects of the nature of the learning process. There's a lot of attention paid to finding better ways to teach STEM education. There's also a fair amount of attention given to the who, to thinking about the fact that we need to broaden access to STEM education to a wider, more diverse range of students than we do right now. What's been paid less attention to is the what of STEM education, the substance of STEM education. What is it that a chemistry major and a physics major needs to know about the world beyond just science as part of their broad science education? And if you think about an economics major or a political science major who is going to go into the world and have to deal with strongly science-infused topics and challenges, what do they need to know about STEM, and how do we go about incorporating that into their experience? So this workshop is really focusing on that aspect, on the what of STEM education, as well as the how and the who.
When we think about sort of the future of STEM education, back in the late 19th century, Herbert Spencer asked the question, what knowledge is of most worth? And I think that's a question that we can revisit every time because the world around us keeps changing. And so that's what drives sort of this issue of what is most worth in learning in STEM education. And we base our work in this on a framework which was derived from an analysis of a range of different approaches, frameworks, books written by experts around this idea of 21st century learning. And the framework has three main components. So the one component is what we call foundational knowledge, which is core content knowledge. So and cross-disciplinary knowledge. The idea being that you cannot be a good chemist or a good engineer if you don't know the foundational sort of mathematics and the science behind what you need to do. The second component, which has also received some attention, is this idea of meta-knowledge, is how we act on that foundational knowledge. Typically, they go under the labels of creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, communication, as being essential skills and knowledge for formats that we need for success in the future. And a third component is what we call the humanistic knowledge, which tells us what do we value. These have to do with life and job skills, cultural competence, emotional ethical awareness, and issues that way. And the point is that the challenges that we face in this century, the COVID-19 being a great example, do not fall into any simple sort of demarcation, right? That they require both knowledge of STEM disciplines as well as creativity and ingenuity, and finally, an ability to understand the broader social and the ethical context within which these decisions will be made.
So the future of STEM education involves incorporating these three dimensions of knowledge: foundational knowledge, meta-knowledge, and humanistic knowledge into the substance of STEM education, into the what of STEM education in the future. The big challenge then is how do we translate that into programmatic realities? What does a chemistry major look like that incorporates meta-knowledge and humanistic knowledge alongside traditional foundational knowledge? What does a biology major look like? What does an economics major who wants to incorporate science into their program of study, how do they meld foundational knowledge of science together with humanistic knowledge and meta-knowledge? That's the big challenge. And the goal of our workshop then is to have this be a workshop that is really a design workshop in which we are going to develop curricular programs, design curricular programs that manifest these different areas of knowledge in a program of study. And it's going to be very hands-on, very goal-oriented, and we hope you will enjoy it and look forward to having you participate.
As we look at the kinds of global challenges that we face today, it is clear that the results or the answers to those challenges, responses to those challenges, are not going to be determined by any one discipline, but rather have to emerge from an integration of it, from a synthesis of this discipline. So what's really exciting about this project is that we are not just going to be talking about this framework or how, but rather we'll be actually actively engaged in designing solutions, designing programs, designing certificate programs, or whatever it is that the group might choose to work on. But it will be providing these exemplars about how something like this can actually become reality in STEM education in the future.